Hi, welcome to Equipment Rental Agreement, the Android app. The app is developed by JRS Innovation, and the objective is to provide a paper-free alternative to execute the rental agreement with your customer. Now, the major objective of app is to provide you access to all kind of equipment. So you could utilize it for bicycles, motorbike, cars, or any industrial equipment when you lease it or rent it to your customer. The app comes with the main home screen. There we see the option to create agreement. A dashboard has the prior agreements where we can see them in a screen, that how do they look. On any agreement we can touch, we can view, edit or delete any existing agreement. And under the equipment, we maintain the inventory of the current vehicles. So for example, I have two equipments in my inventory now. On the bottom right side, there is a plus sign. If I touch the blue plus, it will give me option to enter a new equipment. And there I have option to select from variety of equipments. I can go check the construction equipment. There are a variety of subcategories for each one of them. So agriculture equipment or vehicles and buses. We can go and pick up a car or automobile, and we can select the meter reading based on the miles, kilometers or hours. The serial number and plate number is to define the specific equipment details. It may be a chassis number or any unique identifier for that equipment. Maybe a asset number if you have inventories without the serial number. And that information will identify it uniquely in your inventory. A model number will define the make and type of the vehicle. You could type it with the year of manufacturing and more details about the particular equipment. And this process will save it a new equipment. Now you would notice two different colors here, available, and the bottom one has a language damaged. So inside the equipment inventory, when you touch any vehicle, it has the option edit, delete or status. Now the status is a key parameter. If we touch on the status, it will give us variety of options. What are these options? As you see, before you rent your equipment to your customer, you want to make sure it's in the ready for rent stage. Or it may be in maintenance, maybe unavailable, damaged, need service and repair. So these are the variety of status. Now ready for rent is very clear that when equipment is fully available for rental, we set it ready for rent. It will turn into green color, will look available. If we mark it in maintenance, it will have a different color here. And it's gonna make it visibly that this equipment is not ready to rent. Or we can change it to damaged, need service and repair. So this is to give you an idea that if there are more than one person or the employee involved in the process of renting equipment, whoever is receiving the equipment can send the equipment status, and whoever performed the cleaning or the maintenance on the equipment can change the status back to available when it is ready. So the person at the time of rental is sure that equipment is fully ready for rental. Then comes the section for the renters, where we would feed the information about the customer. So it will have all the detail about the customer that include renter name, address, contact, email, and the company name. And then we have the return process. So let's start with a create agreement. Unfortunately, my trial is over, so I would continue with an existing agreement. I would go ahead and edit that. Ooh, okay. So for now, let's look in the other features. The return process. Now the return process is very important part. You would use this section when the customer is bringing back the equipment. We can click on the plus sign at the bottom of the page and it will bring us to the dashboard. So we can select which of the equipment agreement we are talking about or the rental. So at the bottom we have the vehicle information and the agreement detail to the customer. Now we select one of the detail. It will pre-populate the agreement number and the renter name. Now we can select which equipment we are talking here. So in normal case, it would be in the status of on the rental. We would select that equipment. It will fill up all the information. Now it will pre-populate the rental date and it will put today's date as the return date. Now here we need the person name who's receiving the equipment. So the employee, whoever receiving the equipment, can input his name in detail. And the employee would mark the equipment condition at the time of receiving it. If the vehicle is in the same condition as it was given, or it has some wear and tear or some minor repair. Now if I mark it as a minor repair required, I would mention the more details here. Or may need a oil change or something more before you could put it back for the rental. And I save that content. Now at the bottom it brings a new return list and it has all the detail about this. So that would bring it to the return process. And then once we return it and we find everything satisfactory, we can process the payment to customer and receive that or release the invoice to our customer. So I'll open one existing invoice. We'll view the invoice. Oops, must be the old one. Okay, so that's one of the invoice. It has the customer detail on the left, invoice number, the date and the due date, and it has the equipment details, like what are the rental charges, if there are any damage or incidental charges, discounts and adjustment, and a final equipment rental agreement or the total invoice amount to the customer. Now we have option to share this or send the invoice via email, and we have variety of options to send it to the customer. We can email it, add it to a Dropbox, we can print it, send it via Bluetooth, or just the print option. If you have a printer available, you can use the app ready printers, like Canon printer has a mobile app. So the PDF would directly open in the printer app and will print a physical copy for the customer. So in this session, that is all we'll talk about. Thank you for your time. We'll come back with another.